When someone asks a native speaker of English to give the pronunciation of B-U-T, that speaker is going to pay very special attention to every sound in that word and say but. But. When the word but is alone, but. Let's look at one of the websites that I recommended to you. Remember Forvo? So this is a very good website for finding the pronunciation of words by themselves, okay? So here's but. Let's go in and see how native speakers have pronounced it in the past.
But.
But. You hear that? He pronounces the the plosive at the end.
But.
Let's hear some more.
But.
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 So we hear the word but by itself with a very strong t at the end. I like Forvo, but even better than Forvo is listening to the words in context, okay? Which is why I recommended Youglish. We can type in the word but. Let's see, we just want to hear US English results maybe.
But Bob and his team work to deal with each.
So do you hear how President Obama pronounced but here? He did not say but. Within a phrase, he leaves off the T, exactly how I taught you guys. Okay, let's listen again.
But Bob and his team work to deal with each one.
So for questions about words that you hear like this, I recommend to go to both Forvo and Youglish. And just remember that when a native English speaker is speaking very slowly or in a formal setting, they're more likely to pronounce the endings of these words, these plosives, Facebook, task, and that's what's happening. And let's actually look at the word week right now on Forvo and Youglish. I'm interested. Let's go back to Forvo. We'll put in week up here. 5 pronunciations of week in English.
Weak.
Ah, you hear that? So alone, he pronounces it weak. Again, with that k, that puff of air.
Weak.
Weak.
Perfect. They all say that. Let's try to find week again in context.
When's the last time you went a week without eating sugar?
Interesting. So he's giving another lecture. It looks like a formal TED Talk or something like that. Week appears right in the middle of a sentence without a comma, without a pause, and he does not say this week. Let's listen again.
When's the last time you went a week without eating sugar?
Week without eating sugar.
When's the last time you went a week without eating sugar?
Next one.
Congress recently returned from a 7-week vacation.
President Obama did not say 7-week vacation. He said 7-week vacation. Almost saying the K, but not. Okay? In informal English, you will rarely hear people pronouncing these plosive letters. Okay? But one more time, when you do hear them, for example, in future videos that I post, I'm sure that you'll hear me trying to speak a very clear English, and that's why I'll use these plosive letters at the ends of words very often, right? Job, Facebook, ping pong. But one more time, I encourage you to try not to pronounce these letters. It will make your mouth feel better when you're speaking English and not having to worry about putting in these puffs of air. So go on to Forvo and especially use Youglish to find the right pronunciation. And you can try to figure out what the context is based on the video. And you can tell if it's a formal paused English or if it's just people talking with their friends. Of course you're not going to hear a lot of these Facebook, hot, bad, these letters at the end, because for us it takes a lot of effort too to make the k, t, you know? So again, Very difficult concept, but I hope that it's made sense to you guys, and that explains, I guess, why you're going to continue to hear these plosives. Even though Gavin said, we don't say those plosives. That is what's happening. So with that, study it. Sound good? Sound good?